ask you to join us in, oh, excuse me, a silent moment of prayer followed by the oath of allegiance to the flag of our country. As soon as I get my mouth working, we'll be in good shape. Okay. Okay, remain seating and we'll have the pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Beth, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, members Clymer,
Here.
Coyle, Pryor,
Yeah, here.
Sampson, Weeks, Mayor Mangucci,
Here.
Vice Chairman Fishback,
Here.
Chairman Van Vliet.
Here.
And if you want to recite adequate notice, Gary.
I certainly will. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. And we've already had roll call, so we'll move on to old business. First order of business under old business is to approve the minutes of the November 23rd, 2020 meeting. Has everybody received a copy of those minutes?
Yes.
Are there any questions or
Yeah,
corrections?
I did receive them, and my proposal would be to table them. These are a very important set of minutes, and obviously put together from notes. I would prefer the discussion on the master plan be set forth more clearly and in more detail. It's important considering what's down the road, and I just don't think these minutes are detailed enough.
Beth, are you on? You had a problem with the transcription of.
Yeah, I did, because they weren't under the normal Liberty Recorder that we use in the courtroom. And the link that I got from Lori, I don't think I can control the speed at which it, everyone's speaking. I don't have that ability.
I'm not blaming anybody, and I understand that, Beth. We have a lot of members absent. I'd like to give everybody a chance to kind of add their input and maybe look at a more detailed conform copy next month rather than adopt a bunch of snippets. That's my own feeling. And I'm not talking about everything. I'm just talking about the discussion on the master plan.
Yeah, if someone could enhance,
Yeah, and if everybody agrees they represented the meeting, then those become the minutes we put in the file. Especially since there's no recording. Nothing else goes. So, we're going to all have to agree on the minutes. And we got skeleton crew tonight. And I have my own notes on, what I felt the discussion was. So if we could come to consensus next month, I'd feel more comfortable with that.
Lori, did you record the last virtual meeting we had?
Yes, I did. And I'll see if there's a way that maybe we can get that into the court reporter to use so that it can be slowed down, or I'll see if there's another kind of software Beth can use.
Yeah, okay. It'd be a pain in the neck, but I mean, this is an important thing, and I'd like the record to be pretty complete here, as complete as practical.
Can we make that recording part of the minutes then?
Yeah, I mean, we'll post it, but if we can try to get it into the other software so that, because I know when you're doing the dictation, you want to slow it down so you can get every word. Yeah, so we'll see if we can get it in that software.
Okay, if we can get it in that software, but I'd still like it to make the, refer to it in the minutes that we would have a recording that's available. due to the circumstances of the virtual meeting we had.
That's
Yeah, we
fine.
can do that. No problem.
Okay? All right, and Jim, do you have any problems with delaying the minutes for another meeting, or?
This Jim?
Yes,
No problem at all, Chairman.
okay,
There's a motion by Mr. Pryor to table. If he gets that seconded, the discussion, and if it carries, it gets tabled until the next meeting.
okay. Do I hear a second on Mr. Pryor's motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, Beth, roll call vote, please.
Yes, members Clymer,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes,
Mayor Mengucci,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Fishback,
Yes.
Chairman Van Vliet.
Yes. Okay. Next order of business is precast manufacturing, block 100, lot 6.02. Construction of a 735 square foot addition, continuation of the hearing from November. Mr. Edelston, are you on board with us here?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and our engineer is as well, so perhaps I can turn this over to him. I believe he has indicated to me that he has made most of the technical changes that the township engineer has requested.
Okay,
Yeah,
And I'll
basically,
I'll re-swear him in, Chairman.
okay.
Sir, I know that you've been previously sworn, but could you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, and just please state your name for the record.
Robert Zetterbaum.
Thank you.
All right. Since this was heard by the board last, there have been at least one additional report from your engineer. There was also in his report, he also had indicated that I believe your planner was now satisfied with what we had submitted. So we simply had to work on the minor comments that were remaining within your engineer's report. I believe we have made the changes to the plans that it asked for, and more importantly, the maintenance plan. We resubmitted a digital copy back to him as well, when we submitted the full sets to the township. We think we're done and ready for a vote, but at that point, I'm going to leave it up to Adam to see if there's any small items that are left.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Bob. So, yeah, am I muted? No.
Nope, you're good.
I
No,
hear you.
you're
Okay.
okay.
Okay, sorry. I want to make sure I'm not talking. All right, yeah, so following the hearing last month, there were some kind of outstanding issues that were still needed to be cleaned up on the plans, really. And I think the board felt that it would be more appropriate if Mr. Zetterbaum was in attendance and if those kind of minor issues were addressed. I haven't issued a formal report since the last meeting, but I did, following the last meeting, send Mr. Zetterbaum and Mr. Edelston, as well as copying Beth on the email. So I'm not sure if the board received it directly, but I'd kind of gone through the issues that were brought up at the hearing, as well as some final items that need to be addressed in terms of stormwater management and the maintenance plan for the proposed stormwater management measures. And also the one kind of major thing that just didn't appear on the last set of plans that was submitted prior to the November meeting was the existing septic disposal bed and tank and lateral kind of just didn't print up on the plan. So in this resubmission, which Beth should have distributed to the members of the board, those items are now again shown. They were previously shown on a prior submission. This project's been going on for about a year now. So in a prior submission and survey, those features were shown. So the current plan set clearly shows that the existing septic, the current active septic bed is outside of the limits and the area of the building addition. And what's shown on the plans now is an area of the abandoned septic bed that was in operation prior to the reconstruction and replacement of the septic system in years past. I think Mr. Zetterbaum had testified to that and had probably worked on the design for that as well. And the other item, we did mention that George was comfortable with the landscaping that's now being proposed, and we discussed that last month as well. And then the final item was we were looking for final or more current recent architectural plans that reflect the site plan, and the site plan agrees with the architectural plan and vice versa. But there's nothing lost in communication in terms of what the board's approving and what the architect is assuming they're going to build out there. So now everything is in conformance. George has also reviewed the architectural plans and he's in agreement with that. He can speak to that, of course, but he and I spoke on the telephone and he was comfortable with what's now being presented. So we're comfortable now that everything is cleaned up, and if the board has no further questions, I think you should be confident in advancing the project and hopefully approving it.
Mr. Chairman, I got just one question for Adam.
Yes.
Is it your recommendation that we put a liner under this rain garden?
Yes.
And we have one.
Yes.
Pardon me?
We have a liner under the ring.
No, I know that. And I'm asking because if in the discussion, it's not clear. I mean, it came originally from the chairman. And I want to hear Adam.
Sure. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. As with the other properties on Strikers Road, and with the recent development of the properties on Strikers Road, most notably on the same side there, the KNS warehouse facility, as well as the new Strikers Road facility and the Berry Plastics, as well as the asphalt plant, all those sites have seen active sinkhole formation and activity and remediation. So not to create new problems on the precast site where there aren't any, the basin will be lined, the rain garden will be lined. So.
All right.
I have a question for Adam. Are you satisfied with the maintenance plan on the rain garden?
Yes, the maintenance plan does conform now with the NJDEP requirements and recommendations for maintenance of rain gardens of this type. And the plantings that are selected are, wet site tolerant and kind of meet all the standards for design for this sort of facility. And really it's only going to be maintained once a year in the fall, when you're doing your final cleanup. So it should be a low maintenance feature, but it will have some benefit to the site.
Yeah, that leads to one more question from me, Adam, and it's a
Sure.
hypothetical. And I know this is only a 700 square foot rain garden, but how do we enforce this master plan, this maintenance plan? Let's say we come back in a year, 2 years, all the bonds are gone and everything's dead and there's garbage in it.
Sure. Well, whenever these types of facilities are approved specifically for any kind of commercial, the ordinance now has a provision, and it's also recorded in the maintenance plan and maintenance agreement, that the owner of the facility is supposed to file a report with the township engineer and the township clerk every year, showing that, when they maintained it, when they mowed it, when they cleaned it out, if they had to do any maintenance. And if we don't get that report, we'll be reaching out to these owners of these facilities. And we've been doing that. Paul and I have been doing that, reaching out to these private facility owners and making sure they get us their maintenance logs. So that's going to be an annual thing. It's part of our permit enforcement in the township. And, in the first week of May, we have to file with DEP to show that the township's conforming with our permit. And part of that is that we have to police the private facility owners. So
would you anticipate getting help from DEP if somebody doesn't conform?
it might be an issue that, I think the way it would be enforced is it'd be kind of you'd be in violation of an approval.
Mhm.
And the maintenance agreement also has to get recorded at the county. So the
All right.
document and agreement. So it's
All
kind
right.
of, it's all going to be there.
Reported that, I think that lends some strength to it.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get if not a person, at least a position within the company of who is responsible for maintaining that maintenance log?
Actually, that's on the front sheet of the maintenance agreement. The person responsible is the property owner, Greg Fisher. And
Yeah, there's a responsible party as part of that document that'll be recorded at the county. Yep.
Okay. George, do you have any comments?
No, I think Adam covered it quite well. The last piece of information I had requested was to make sure the architecture matched. And the latest submission submitted architecture, and it now corresponds to the engineering document. So I have no problems with where the plans are at today.
Mr. Bryce, do you have any comments on it?
I have no comments, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. The only question I had, and it may be moot, I'm not sure, but on the plans, I believe it showed that the two above ground propane tanks are to be removed from there. Now, is this when you connect to the natural gas
Yes.
facility, or are they going to be removed because of this project?
No, well, it's got to be removed because of natural gas connection.
Okay, very good. I just want that clarified, okay?
Sure.
Okay, any other of the board members have any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the project, final site.
Chairman, before you do that, and I know that it's kind of silly because I can see how many people are on. For the
I
benefit
understand.
of the record, you should open it up to the public.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
If any public is on, does anybody have any comments?
There's no public.
Hearing none, being informed that we have nobody joining us on the virtual Zoom program, I'll close the public meeting and entertain a motion to, we're looking for preliminary and final site plan approval on this, I believe. Am I correct with that, Mr. Bryce?
It's
Okay.
looking for preliminary and final site plan approval and also C2 variances for the expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming condition.
Okay, with that proviso, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
Motion by member Fish, Vice Chairman Fishback,
I'll second.
second by Clymer. I'll roll call that, Gary.
Yes, please, roll call.
Members Clymer,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Mayor Mengucci,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Fishback,
Yes.
Chairman Van Vliet.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I thank the gentleman, Mr. Edelson. I believe that
Mr. Chairman.
ends the journey here.
Long journey.
Yes. Yes.
All right, you go.
Congratulations and good luck with it.
Thank you. And you guys stay dry tonight and tomorrow.
We'll try.
Right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Next order of business is public comment. We have no public, but I'll ask if there's somebody joined us, and if not, hearing no comments, I will move to adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. We're done for December.